How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Killmark Collectors. Today, we're going to be talking about using Logi without using Logi, and one of those weird, TikTok viral things that the kids are doing these days, because I'm clearly not young enough to be using TikTok. What I want to focus on is using some ships other than the dedicated Logi ships, especially for small gang ratting, so that you can actually get some of that utility and really be able to get a lot of the benefits of a Logi ship without needing to sacrifice all of the DPS in order to do that. So let's undock and dive into it. Logi is one of the most important roles in a fleet in Eve Echoes because it basically extends the lifespan of your entire fleet, and particularly the guardians or the high value targets that you may be flying with. So in large fleet engagements, it's a no-brainer why we would have dedicated Logi ships. But if you're only riding with maybe 5 or 6 people, one of them is already a guardian, including a dedicated Logi ship could dramatically reduce the amount of DPS that you have and really hamper your ability to clear anomalies. So today what I want to do is I want to look at 2 battleships, the Domigistics and the Armageddon, and just talk a little bit about what it is like to fly these as Logi ships rather than just pure DPS. My mic keeps wanting to fly away and it's kind of annoying me. Normally, I think the go-to Logi of choice, especially for any shield ships, is going to be the Hurricane Logistics or the Logi Cane. And this is really a great ship because it does give you the boost not only to range but also to the amount that is healed. And so for large engagements where you're really getting a lot of DPS done, it can be a great ship for quickly getting your guardians back up to health. Now in this case, we're not going to have that Logi, so instead what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be fitting a Domigistics here. Ignore the low DPS, I just had to swap out for a couple of skills to get back into some doctrine stuff. What I've got here is a couple of medium remote shield boosters, and then also 2 large remote boosters. I also have a large remote capacitor transfer in one of my mid slots, and then you can see I've got kind of the normal spread of other mods in here. For the Armageddon, you do have an extra mid slot. I would probably throw a NOS in there just because you are going to be able to regain some of that cap from a really far distance away. But I personally don't want to sacrifice that extra DPS of losing that drone slot. And to be fair, we are still going to have a Guardian that is going to be able to self-heal some. And so this is really going to be more of a extra boost if we get into a sticky situation. Now, what I've got today is my MOA Guardian on my phone, and then I've got my iPad here where I'm running the Domigistics. So hopefully I'll be able to give you guys a little bit of both shots. Before we undock though, what I do want to highlight is that you need to go into your battle settings, and this is going to take a little bit more micromanagement than normal. Under your battle settings, you're going to go and you're going to need to make sure that auto attack next target is off, auto lockback is off, auto orbit is off, and then auto attack is off as well. Now, the auto attack being off is absolutely critical because if you have it on, when you go to actually repair, you will start attacking as well, and you'll basically cancel everything out and may end up blowing up your Guardian, which will not make you a popular person with the rest of the fleet. So what we're going to do is, again, just make sure all of that stuff is off, and then when we start to go out here, we are going to just be approaching. We're not actually going to be doing anything crazy with the auto orbit or anything like that. So let's go ahead and undock here, and I'm going to send this fleet into an anomaly so that we can kind of get a sense of how this actually works in practice. So we're warping to the anomaly right now. Just a very quick disclaimer, I am using a character that does not have full skills on the MOA because I want to be able to actually highlight this. So you guys are going to probably see this stuff go down very, very quickly. That is intentional. I promise that I won't actually fly an underpowered Guardian ship if we ever rat together. I am going to go ahead and approach the Guardian so that if that Guardian does move, I am always going to be following it and hopefully staying in the bubble. And I'm going to go ahead and start locking up these targets. Now, as a Logi-esque pilot, the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that when I go into my fleet command settings that I have the accept from fleet checked here. If I don't, then when that Logi does start broadcasting for reps, I will not actually see that command. So we're going to make sure that that setting is checked. Now, you'll notice here that because I don't have auto orbit on, I am actually not attacking anybody yet. And again, that's very intentional. So if I go over here and I start selecting a target, I'm going to focus fire, and we're going to have just the drones coming out. Now, when we do that, it is again going to just be the drones and the offensive weapons. It is not going to start healing the rats, which would be very bad. The Guardian right now is at about 37%. I'm going to select that target and make sure that I am selected onto my Guardian. And then I'm going to hit my large remote capacitor transmitter. And you'll notice that when I do that, it's like the armor Logi, because what happens is it will actually go cycle all the way through, and you will actually see that remote transmitter complete at the end of the cycle, or that cap transfer at the end of the cycle. And the reason that this is really important is because you need to be aware that it's not like the shield where it's going to boost it immediately at the beginning of that activation cycle. You are going to need a little bit of time. Now with that as well, again, we are still all focused on this Blackbird. It's almost dead though. And so I need to go ahead and switch over to a different offensive target. I'm going to go ahead and cancel the capacitor for just a second here. We need to transfer to a separate rat so that now when I go in here and I can again focus fire, those are going to be focusing down that target because again, I'm not doing a auto attack. Now that our drones are on here, I'm going to switch back to the MOA, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit my cap battery in just a second, but you can see I've arranged this so that I've got my C-type larges up top and then the mediums down below. I do that personally just because I think it's a little bit easier to keep straight in my head and to manage my cap. Now I'm going to go ahead, and this looks like it's a little bit down, so I'm going to hit my battery, and then I'm just going to start with both large boosters. I'm again not getting a ton of healing here because it is off of the just kind of the base amount. We're not getting those bonuses that the Hurricane Logistics, but you can see again for a shield that is going to be down and just needing a little bit of a boost, this can be a really effective way to do it. And I can run enough cycles to almost get this thing all the way up, and we are pretty much full again. I'm going to go ahead and drop the drop this off, and then if I need to, I can go and I can actually just be having the medium group reps to just again be a bit of an extra shield boost for that Guardian. Now with this, again, you can be taking on larger anomalies. You do need to be aware that you are losing a little bit of DPS because I don't have those high slots. But overall, this is a great way if you are trying to go into a small gang, whether it's in PvP or PvE, you're trying to just keep your Guardians alive a bit longer, and then you'll be able to, just stay on field longer and kill more things. The one other thing as I'm wrapping this up, and I know that I am also in a little bit lower shield right now because I let stuff get inside the bubble as opposed to actually going and killing it. You can use a mix of sentry drones or whatever other drones you want, but do just be aware that those faster things that are coming in are going to get inside the bubble. You need to focus those down first so that as you are trying to heal and trying to do everything else, you're probably not going to have a lot of tank yourself. So just be aware and kind of be watching that so that you can keep stuff out of your bubble and keep your own shields up in addition to what the MOA is going to have. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for joining. I hope that this is helpful. I hope that this is a way for you to kind of look at Logi in a slightly different light and ultimately play around with it. It's a lot of fun, especially in small game PvP, to have Logi on a ship like the Dominic's or on the Armageddon because people don't really expect it. And so oftentimes you can get that extra little bit of healing without painting a giant target on yourself, which can be really, really beneficial. Before you go, if you haven't already, be sure to head down to the link below, join the Killmark Collectors Discord. We're doing a lot of fun PvP 1v1s ranking type of stuff down there. So if you're looking to get into that, be sure to check it out. And then also, if you want to be doing more group PvP and you're looking for a corporation, be sure to check out the Pandemic Discord. We're always recruiting. We're always looking for more people. Be sure to tell them that you found them through Killmark Collectors. Not that it really matters, but it just makes me feel good, and feel free to tag me in Discord. And I'd love to see you, love to fly with you. So thanks again. As always, like, subscribe, do whatever you're going to do. Leave a comment down below if you appreciate this video or if you think that this is total crap. Either way, I'd love to hear your opinion. And until next time, fly safe.